Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to today's class. Today we're going to make paper frame. All you need are your paper. I'll put this aside. Your paper, and the paper measures 14 inches long and the width is 11.5 inches. Again, 14 inches, you have the measurements already, by 11.5 inches. The remaining things you need are your ruler, your pencil, your glue. You can use your liquid glue. I'm going to use dry glue because of this class, so it will move faster. Your scissors. These are the simple things you will need to make this paper frame. Now, one of the first things I'm going to do, I always like making my marks first. Remember we did this in class. I marked 1/2 inch. This is 1.5 inches. This is 2, marked at that, at the top of my paper on the 14 inches side, and 3 inches. I'll place my ruler so you can see. I hope you can see this. The reason why I do this, because we're going to score it and we're going to make a straight line. You score at 1/2 inch, mark at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and 3 inches. You go down and you do the same thing. If you have been in this class before now, you should know how to do this. The same thing, you mark 1/2 inch here, down here. I hope you're seeing. You make 1.5 inch, another half, mark 3 inches. So you're going to join your lines. I can use my marker so you can see what I'm doing. And you're going to do this on all 4 sides. See? Between here to here is 1/2 inch. Then you go ahead and you make a straight line as well. Between here and here, you have 1/2 inch. Between here and here, you have 1/2 inch. Between here and here, you have 1 inches. Then 1/2 inch again. And you have 1 inch. So basically, the measurements between this side of the paper to this place should be 3 inches. When you have this line, you do the same thing on all 4 sides of your paper. Turn your paper to the 11.5 inches and you make a straight line using that same measurement. 1/2 inch first, 1 inch, 1/2 inch again, then 1 inch. This 1/2 inch of your paper is what will give you this side. The 1 inch is this side. Then there's a part we tucked in. I'll just bring it out. The part we tuck in makes another 1/2 inch. So I have this. I'll turn my paper again. Mark my paper. I've marked my paper. This is short. Hopefully I'll get, if you have a short ruler like I do, you can also try this. One inch again. Then 1/2 inch. Okay. And you have 1 inch. Don't be confused, it's not hard. For demonstration purpose is the reason why I'm drawing this mark with a marker. This is 1/2 inch, this is 1 inch, 1/2 inch again, and this is 1 inch. So you're going to do this here, you turn your paper again, you do this until you have a rectangle in the middle. You have 1/2 inch, you have your 1 inch, 1/2 inch again. Remember to pause the video regularly, and 1/2 inch, 1 inch, sorry. Remember I said until you have a rectangle in the middle, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch again, 1 inch, 'So remember, until you have a rectangle in the middle, here's a rectangle, and the rectangle will form the base of your frame, like this one. What you want to do after doing this is all your lines, you want to fold and press on your fold. You burnish it. You can use your ruler. Remember those hacks I told you about? You have your scoring tool. Here's your scoring tool. But if you don't have scoring tool, in my previous video and previous class, I showed you what else you can use. You can use, if you don't have a scoring tool, you can use your ruler. You can use the blunt side of your scissors. There are so many things you can use. So if you're going to use your ruler, what you do is first, you take your ruler against your paper and you fold. When you fold, you press down. So I'm going to fold all my lines and come back. Fold all your lines. It's like doing this. You fold all your lines and you come back. When you fold, you have this kind of mark. Remember, fold and you press on everything. You score. I showed you how to score. When you score, you should leave this kind of mark on your paper. Remember what you can use to score. You can use your ruler, your scissors. You can use the empty tip of a pen. After scoring, after making this straight mark, remember between here and here is 1/2 inch. Between here and here is 1 inch. Between here and here is 1/2 inch. Here and here is 1 inch again. Remember, this 1/2 inch is for this side. The 1 inch is to make this, to give you this. We're going to build our frame. After scoring, remember what I said? You fold all your score marks and you press down. All the lines you have made. You're going to fold it. It's important you press your fold, please. Sorry, I was supposed to go the other way. What I'm doing is to press, fold, and press on my folds. Now that we've done that, what we'll need to do, because the first score measurements that we line is 1/2 inch, you're going to mark 1/2 inch again. That's in the middle of this side, because we're going to be cutting. You can flip it depending on how you want your frame to look like. Between this line here, inward, you're going to mark 1/2 inch. You'll see what will happen while we're making the 1/2 inch mark. I'll show you in a minute. Half. If you have 8 inches here, you want to mark 1/2. On the opposite side, do the same thing. Check where your fold mark is. So you measure 1/2 inch. And you measure 1/2 inch. What you want to do with this 1/2 inch is you cut it. Make that 1/2 inch you have cut, make a straight line to the second line, like this, here. Don't go all the way, stop here. Do the same thing over here. Your 1/2 inch mark, make a straight line to the second line. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Half inch, mark 1/2 inch. Now the reason why we are doing this, if you see this line here, if you can see this line, in order to get this nice edge and to tuck in this one into this, that's why we're making this 1/2 inch mark. I'll show you how you're going to cut your line. Do this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. From where your 1/2 inch mark stops, you connect your line sideways. Just do this. Do the same thing on the opposite side. This mark, this line. Do this, and you do this. Now what you're going to do is, you're going to cut around, this place will form your flap. From this side all the way to this side, they're going to go. You don't need it anymore. You keep this square here. Form a straight line, and you do this, and you do this. Just take note of how I'm making my lines. I'm marking the area we are keeping, and every other thing will go from this side. My marker is drying up. I hope you can see what I've done so far. You see this side, this side, this side, this side, they're going to go. We don't need it to form our... When we cut, we'll end up having this. That's what we'll end up having. Hope you can see. Let me move this. This is what you have. Then that small square that we kept, that's this one, will be the one we'll tuck into here. I'm going to use my scissors now. Remember the area we don't need, this side. I'll cut on my line. See, please take notes. Go like this, 1. Yes, like this. Then you can turn. You stop on the third line, 1, 2, 3. Here, you want to cut from here. Stop on the second line. You turn your scissors and your paper. And you cut 1 line only. And you turn it again. And you cut. I hope you can see what I've done. See? You have this left. I have removed this whole piece because we don't need it. I'll cut another one again for you to see. Like this. Stop on the second line. Turn your paper. From the second line, on the third line now, you cut diagonally. You stop. Then turn your paper again. You cut. Stop. Just follow that line. Try and make that line on your paper to guide you. I've sent a video previously. I hope that one you can follow if you find it difficult to follow the instructions on this one, on this demonstration I'm doing. What I've done here, I'm going to do it on the other side again. See? Let's see how my paper is. So I'll do the same thing. Here again. I'll go straight. Stop on the third line. Then you turn your paper. You cut this one. Stop on the second line. Flip your paper. Turn your paper sideways. You cut. Stop on the third line. And you go this way again. Turn, you cut diagonally, and you're only cutting sideways like this. You're cutting diagonally like this only on 2 sides. Then you cut, you go this way again, stop, and you cut straight. Stop there, you release this tab here. You cut and release this tab. Let me show you what we have so far. This is it. So look at it. By the time we fold, you have this. This one will come sideways. It will help support this one, this side. So this is what you should have when you are done. So I'll open it back up. We'll try and notch our corner. Remember how I taught you to notch your corner? You cut a small piece out Do the same thing here. Remember what I said, notch your corner. Be careful not to cut your main paper. These side tabs, you notch it. Where you're adding glue is just this small piece here. This piece is where you're adding glue. On all 4 sides here. Put glue here. You apply glue in the first tab. Just the first one. You can put enough glue. Then on your side tab, you're going to apply glue as well. I'll cover my glue now. We'll start putting our box together, our frame together. So what you do, attach your side piece first. And tuck in this. Remember what I always say, use tissue, put tissue close. I like to put tissue close. When you're sure it's there, you roll in this. This side. The side tab. When you're sure it has glued, then you roll this in, tuck it in, let it stand. Oops. If you're using wet glue, you need to be extremely patient. And go ahead and put this. It will all come together. There are different ways of doing this. You can put something on top to just wedge it to keep it until it glues. Especially if you're using wet glue. If you're using wet glue, you need to be extremely patient. Extremely patient. Here is our frame. It's a bit deep. And you can even use this as a packaging box. If you don't want it to be this long, you can reduce, as I said, make it 1/2 inch. When you're done, you have your frame. Like I like to put my quotes up, so I put it in this frame. Remember, we're using a dry glue. Wet glue, you need to be extremely patient. Embellish your box with flowers. I have some flowers I have made. And just do this. This is still coming off because our glue is not stuck yet. So you can just put this peace and joy, and you can gift it to someone. You can put as many things as you want. You can put your quotes. You can just put it, decorate it, and put it up on the wall. It's all up to you what you want to do. If you want, you can put something like this, just like I did here. It's all up to you. So I hope you've gotten it so far what I have done. Go ahead and try it, and please show me what you have done. Okay.